6. If the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, he might be asking this question. Chattanooga, why are so many of your young African-American people dying in this town?
It's a plague upon our community and one that funeral directors know all too well. Tonight, News Channel 9's Jerry Askin takes a look at the issue through the eyes of those who are having to bury one child after another. Jerry.
Yeah, Kim and Calvin, crime in our area involving teens appears to be increasing more and more, many of whom are dying in senseless shootings.
Lamunta Williams ought to be somewhere playing football or getting ready for his high school prom. Instead, he lies buried here at the Highland Memorial Gardens. Gunned down last March only a few blocks away from Howard High, just 16 years old. And 2 weeks ago, Deontrey Southers, shot dead inside of his home, just 13 years old, played football at East Lake Academy.
Your heart pleads and bleeds because of the fact, you know, when you look at your sons and you say that could have been my child.
As a funeral director, John Taylor is used to staring death in the face, but he can't get over how many young people he's having to bury these days. Far too often, children caught in the middle of drug or gang violence.
Every last one of them affect my life. When I look at, as I stated, how young they are and how instead of it could have been me.
The body count over the past 3 years is 13, over a dozen children under the age of 19 who have been shot and killed on our streets. Mr. Taylor says these deaths are devastating to the black community and that it's time for everyone to come together to end all the senseless violence.
That is my goal. Every time I go through this, yes, my heart goes out, but yet we see that we still have quite a bit of work to do.
And you see it's rough for funeral directors who deal with all this youth crime, but you can imagine what it's like for local pastors who pride themselves on mentoring young people.
Pastor Paul McDaniel is one of those people trying to make a difference, but when he took in one young man to try and help him, the teen turned around and used his church as a recruiting ground to enlist gang members.
It's a hurting thing, especially when you watch a girl or boy develop and see some promise in that person.
And these days, those who pull the trigger on these crimes are getting younger and younger. Ask Juvenile Court Judge Robert Philyaw.
Already in my time on the bench, I've had a 12-year-old appear who was charged with attempted first-degree murder, several 13-year-olds who are charged with serious gun crimes.
Leaving victims like Lamunta and Deontrey dead in the wake of the epidemic of a youth gone wild in Chattanooga.
And funeral home director John Taylor is hoping to see a change soon, and he's being proactive to try and stop all the senseless violence. Kim, Calvin.
Jerry, thank you very much.